Hey love, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovett. If this is your first time here, please don't make it your last. Hit on the subscribe button and be part of this family. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always stopping by. In today's video, we'll be making this cute corset, and if that is something that interests you, please keep on watching. So the first thing to do is to start from our shoulder measurement. We'll mark our bust point. My bust point in this measurement is 10.5. You can see me marking it. Then my under bust is 13.5, and my full length is 20 for the blouse that I'm making. Then my waist is 17, so I'll mark 17 and I'll make a straight line to indicate. So this is my bust point, and this is my under bust, and this is my waistline and the full length. So these are the line that we have right now. So the next thing is to divide your shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 18, divided by 2 I have 8, so I'm using 3.5 for the neckline. Then you come down by 1 inch at the shoulder slope. This is just for your shoulder slopes, and you connect it to your neckline. Then from your bust point, come up by 2 inches to get your chest line. So this will be our chest line. So you mark from your shoulder line down to your chest line. Make a straight line from your shoulder down to your chest line. Then you divide your bust measurement by 4. Your bust measurement divided by 4, then you mark it. The next thing is to look for your midpoint from your shoulder line to your chest line. Look for the midpoint. My midpoint is 4. Then you come in by half inches. Then you connect your bust measurement and the half inches you came in straight to the shoulder. Just look at what I'm doing. So now we've gotten our armhole. Next is to come at your bust point. Divide your bust span by 2. That's your nipple to nipple by 2. Mine is 8. Divided by 2 is giving me 4. So I'm just marking 4 at the bust point, the under bust, the waist, and the full length. And I will make a straight line. I just hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. But if you are not, just look at me and I promise you will get it. Then at the neckline, I'm using 3 inches to mark out the neckline. I'm not really going to use it, but just so you understand what you are doing here. So the next thing now is to look for the midpoint of your shoulder. Look for the midpoint, then connect it to your bust point. Connect it to your bust point. So now we need to look for our bust circumference, and to get that, you measure from your bust point to your under bust. Anything you have, that will be your bust circumference. So now I have 3 inches. So from the mid, from that 4 inches that you measured, measure your 3 inches round. Place your tape on that point and measure it round 3 inches. Make sure you have a round circle of 3 inches going round. So now this is our circle of the 3 inches. Next, you come at the waistline, measure half inch from both sides, and at the full length, measure half inch from both sides as well. And at the under bust, you measure half inch from both sides, then connect them together. Just look at what I'm doing. Connect them together. Then from your bust point, come down by 1 inch. Come down by 1 inch from your bust point and connect it to meet your under bust. Just the way I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. Just connect it to meet the half inch you've brought out. So next is to come at your under bust and measure what you have there. So the half inch which you came out from gave us 1 inch. Then you will plus half inch to it. So we now have 1.5. So at the part coming to the center, you will give half inch to that part. Then at the part going to the armhole, you will give 1 inch. So you add 1/4 inch to avoid gaping. So the 1/4 inch is just to make it tight. Then you connect it to meet your bust point. Look at the line that I'm connecting. Connect the 1.25 and the 1/2 to meet your bust point. Just look at what I'm doing, you will understand. Here I'm just trying to blend the 1 inch we came down to meet with our bust point. So the next thing, we are going to come down by 1/2 inch from our chest line. You can come down by 1 inch depending how deep you want it to be, but here I'm coming down by 1/2 inch, and I'm coming in by 1/2 inch again. Then I'll connect it to meet my chest line, that's to meet the 1/2 chest line. So our cup is gradually coming out, so you connect it again to meet your underbust with that 3 inches circle that you've created. That's the use of it. It will give you a guideline. So at your chest line, you come down by 1/2 inches, so that's our new armhole line. Then from your shoulder line to that bust measurements we mark, measure it to get the midpoint. So you mark the midpoint. After getting the midpoint, you connect it to meet the new armhole line. So just look at what I'm doing. Then from the midpoint, connect it to meet your underbust from that midpoint line that you've gotten. Just look at what I'm doing. So now we have our two cup 1 and cup 2. So easy, guys. So now we just need to take our measurements. Come at the chest line, divide your bust measurements by 4. Then you measure what you have at the space in between. I have 2. You mark it, you mark the 2, then plus 1.5 inches for allowance. Then you come at the waistline, divide your waist by 4, measure what you have there. I have 1, plus it, then plus 1.5 inches, and then you connect it. It's so easy, guys. Just connect it like so, and you cut out. Just look at the parts that I'm cutting out so you don't make mistake. And this up will be our yoke. That's if you want your dress to have a yoke. Look at the parts I'm cutting out. Then you place the center and the side. You can use tape if you have a masking tape, but here I'm using a pin to pin it down. Then I'm adding another carbon to it because I want it to have, my top is going to have a basket effect. So I added a carbon, and I'm just measuring 3 inches. Then I'm coming down from the waist by 1 inch and connect it to the 3 inches just for it to have this basket effect. So now for the back, place the side on another carbon to the waist point. Then you make a straight line. The back is very easy. Then you cut it out. Because I want it to have a loop at the back, I minus 3 inches and then I cut it out for it to have a loop. We are done with the back and the front. This is the front and that is the back as well. So I just want to cut it now out on the fabric. Just look at how I'm cutting it out on the fabric. Note, I did not cut it exactly on the fabric. I added 1/2 inch. Look at the 1/2 inch allowance I added to the fabric. So if you are cutting yours, please add the 1/2 inch allowance. So that will be all for today's video. In our next video, we'll be filming the sewing part of this tutorial. Thank you so much for always being here. See you in my next video. Bye.